Hello, I'm doing a book review on a book called Gone Tomorrow, The Hiding Life of Garbage by Heather Rogers. So I choose this book because this book it talks about garbage, which is one of my main concerns. I come from Mexico, which we see huge waste on the country and the sea, everywhere on the land. So um, that was it is a big concern where the garbage go and things like that. So um, when I moved to the United States, I realized how clean and how the cities and the streets, they don't have many garbage floating around like on my country and in other countries. But after a couple months of living here, I realized that it is pretty sad. We also have a huge problem. We produce a lot of waste. So on the book by Heather Rogers, um, she start she start comparing the Great Wall of China, the pyramids, to the Fresco landfill, which is a land where it used to be used for waste disposal. So there's things that you can see out of space. I think she does a great job on her introduction, telling us and opening our eyes and waking it up about that when she mentioned that in 2003 Americans threw out 5 billion pounds of paper, wood, food, metal, clothing, data electronics, just to mention some of them. So the United States is the world's number one producers of garbage. We consume 30% of the planet's resources and produce 30% of its waste. And we are only 4% of the global population. So this is a big numbers, which is which is very eye-opening for the reader. Um, she focused her book on household waste, which we thought was one of the less aggressive to the environment, but don't. She mentioned in her book that it's one of the main causes of pollution on the air, on the soil, on the water, and it is one of the main causes of global warming because the um, the waste produces a toxic gas, which is the major contributor of the global climate change. So so it waste the waste we are producing is not what we thought. It is pretty dangerous. Um, so another thing that she mentioned, that since we pollute the water and stuff like that, um, this um pollution is affecting many other things and is affecting humans and causing um, a lot of illnesses. In chapter number one, she talks about the waste stream, which talks about the garbage cycle, how they come and pick it up and we don't see it, and they take it to the land, to a sanitary landfill. Um, so it's pretty normal. We don't see it. We don't think about it. It's just how we just don't see the garbage because it's far away from the city. Chapter number two, she talks about the rivers past 17 and about the 17th and 18th century, about most Americans for didn't have as much waste as we used to because they used to live a simple life. Um, and but also she starts explaining that after the Civil War, economic and technological transformations came in commercial production. So chapter number three, rationalizations of waste. In this chapter, she talks about uh, the science of bacteriology, which is people that start being concerned and they start noticing that all of the waste, what the waste causes, illnesses, contamination, and stuff like that. So they start thinking about the consequences. On chapter number 4, technology fix the sanitary landfill. So she started talking about it around the 1930s, how they start organizing the collection of the waste disposal, and how they used to bury the garbage or burn it down. Chapter number 5, she talks about the golden age of waste, which was around the 1915. It's called the era of the consumption, and where life start changing, bringing more material, and with the more material, bringing modern life, and with the modern life, bringing garbage, and which it was more convenience because it was cheaper, disposable, and it was very convenient. So it was causing a lot of problems. So it's when all the garbage pretty much start. So chapter number 6, spaceship Earth. Um, this she talks about the waste in the environment. So on the 1970s, it was she talks about when people start thinking about it, and start being worried about the consequences on the environment. So that was the first time that people start out and wanted to start making a change. So they went out, and they were very concerned about the environment. Chapter number 7, she talks about recycling, the politics of contaminant. So between 1984 and 1988, she mentioned that disposing the garbage, it doubled the price because a new set of rules, and they changed the landfill operations in a new law enforcements for the waste disposal. So there was because a lot of people started concerning and they wanted to make some changes. So on chapter number 8, the corporation of garbage. So she talks that since in the 1950s, companies took over the waste, the trucks and the way we dispose our garbage. So they really don't care about the environment. What they do is they just wanna dispose the garbage wherever, whenever, and it's convenient for them, so they can make a profit and make money off it. So on chapter number 9, green by any means. So she talks about those solutions we can do, recycling. Did she say there's many available up there that we can start making changes, like trying to go green, trying to buy things and companies in places that they are doing things good for the environment, so we can force everybody to go green. And she also mentioned that restaurants, companies, a lot of places are already making the change. So on the conclusion, modern life is and technology has created a bigger problem. Garbage, it's a garbage, and companies and capitalism are taking advantages in making money of the garbage, and they're not thinking about the consequences to the environment, and also taking advantage of the poor countries. Roger claims if we want to save the planet, we have to change the ways how we transform matter, how we use it, and dispose it, and thinking about recycling is one of our first steps. Um, I think this book, an introduction is pretty strong. It's pretty scary. I love the introduction because it's like it, it wakes you up, like it tells you numbers and it's telling you um, what we're doing, how we affecting, what we causing, things like that. But then after the introduction, she goes on and on about the history of the garbage, which I don't think it's very important anymore. We are already we already caused damage to the environment, so I think solutions are more important than talking about the history of the garbage. Um, I will recommend this book because it's very opening, will open your eyes. You're like you don't know how bad is uh the home waste, or the all the waste that we produce from our houses. We don't realize how bad it is. But I mean, just the bad part of the book is just the history part. I mean, of course, it makes us think that government and many people don't care. It's more important to make money than thinking about the consequences later on. But I think she needed to be stronger on her conclusion, not take it very soft. We should do this, like, oh, we should start recycling. I think she should have been like, we have to do this because we're destroying the world. I mean, showing with numbers how she did it in the introduction. She ended up the book pretty soft, and I don't like that because we're destroying the world. So I think it should be we have to take this problem very serious. It's affecting our daily life. It's affecting our health. It's affecting everywhere. So we are causing problems. We are natural disasters. It's not something that we can just, oh, we say this is an option. We have to do it right now. We have to change the way we live. We have to change the way we we use the material, we produce matter, we produce waste, how we use our energy. We need to do a change now. So that's why I don't think it's a great book, because she goes very soft with a problem that is huge, that is affecting and is killing people. So